We live in a world that seeks instant success, right? It's why there are so many of those get-rich-quick schemes scattering our TVs. But there is so much more truth to those small changes, big rewards, right? The business coaches from Take Action, Pete McDowell and Peg Burley, here to teach us about the compound effect. So good to have you guys back.
Thanks, Robin.
Great.
All right, so Pete, let's start with you because you say that the principles really of the compound effect can benefit us at work. They can also benefit us at home. So what is this kind of all about, this theory?
So the simplest example, the best example I think is that a lot of us have tried to lose weight, right, at times.
Right.
If you cut your calorie intake, average American, couple thousand, give or take, man or woman, it's a little less or more. But if you cut 120 calories a day, what do you think would happen in 5 years if you did that? 120 calories a day, which might be one can of pop.
Which is literally like, half a granola bar. Right?
Half of a donut, right.
I feel like it eventually, what, 10, 20 pounds?
Yeah, 14 pounds, right?
That's big.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. That's it.
And it is that kind of thing because you know the choices you make every day you're not going to see.
Right.
You have to have that patience, right?
Right.
Okay.
And consistency.
And so we said kind of that small action, big rewards.
Right.
Sure.
So what are some examples, Peg, when we talk about these small changes too that turn into big rewards in our life?
Right. So I want to give you an example. Pete and I were just talking about this. So we have a company that we're coaching and multiple companies that are doing this where they want a result. A result could be in sales or in this case, let's talk culture.
Okay.
They want to create a better culture and they've decided they want to do 3 new habits. One is catching somebody doing something right. Being inspiring, right? That kind of leader. And being caring, not pushing so much, but stepping back and listening. So those are a few behaviors that are going to be small changes that they're going to do. And here's the secret. How do you get that done? We want you to chart it. So we want you to create a chart of, here's the 3 things or 4 things I'm going to do that are small. And I'm going to do it every day. And it takes less than a minute. Like I'm going to catch somebody doing something right one time.
Right.
And then every day you're going to give yourself a score on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest. How did I do? Did I do my best at that? And then I'm going to have an accountability partner, whether it's a wife, a coworker, a coach, that I show that to instill the change.
And how does that play into team development? Because you're talking about one person, right, of
Sure.
this
That's
team
good.
making these little changes. How does that help everybody?
So another example is we've got a department manager of a larger corporation who's got 15 people, 12 out in the field doing mechanical work, 3 inside the office, and then 1 salesperson who's both in and out. And what we've talked to him about in the last few days is, what if you spent 20 minutes a day with one of those 15 people? Just one of them. And you talked to them, got to know them a little better, maybe talked about a challenge they're having at work that you might be able to help them with, and moved on to the next person and did it every day for months. And they're in the process of doing this now. It'll have a huge effect on how well that team works together.
Long term. How many minutes are you asking them?
20 minutes a day.
20 minutes a day.
Right.
And 15 is not a number where they don't have the time to put in
Right,
each
15.
employee, right? But it's easy probably for them to say, oh, they're fine.
Just one a day.
They're doing
absolutely.
their job.
Yeah.
Right.
The ones that are doing great, you leave alone, right? And you want to make sure you're connected with them as well. The ones that need a little help, or maybe that mass in the middle, what if we moved all of them up a little bit in 6 months? Huge benefits for the business.
You guys do, though, face a lot of people who may have resistance to change.
Correct.
Right? In the business world, it's part of what people need you for. So, what do you do to kind of get them to start with these changes that they don't see the instant result from? I feel
That's
like
a good
it might
question.
be hard to convince them.
So one thing you want to do is it's a belief system, right? So we all have belief systems that we hold to be true or not. Belief system can be broken by proof. So to your point, that was so good, but I don't see the results. I'm not losing the weight, Pete, by the 120. I'm not doing it. Right. So what you have to do is write down and celebrate what you do see that's being good.
Record the activity. Just reward yourself on the activity. Right?
Okay. And there's any kind of big result, and then eventually you'll see it.
Right.
Okay.
And you will see results if you look for them and say, you know what, I noticed that person was happier. Or I did notice that, you know what, I didn't eat that donut, or I didn't, but guess what? I felt better. I felt more energy.
Right.
So looking for the small results and recording it creates fact, which changes your belief, which changes your behavior, which creates consistency.
I will say, in the weight loss world, those are referred to as non-scale victories all the time, right?
Gotcha,
you see
non-scale
these small
victory.
little victories
Yeah.
that add up eventually. And it takes 21 days for an action to become a habit. So
A
just
real
point
habit,
out that.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Be patient, right? Success will come.
Absolutely.
All right. Of course, Pete and Peg have so many lessons they can teach you and your team. So give them a call if you think they could help you guys out, which I'm sure they could. So thank you guys for being
Thank
here.
you.
Robin.